Good afternoon, brothers and sisters of the NALC. So as you guys may have heard already, President Renfro is being charged by a NBA out of Illinois. Article 10 charges against Renfro are neglect of duty, mishandling contract negotiations. Before we get into that, I want to say a big shout out to that NBA and the brothers and sisters of those branches in Illinois that stood yesterday in solidarity and rallied against, the lack of our contract being negotiated, of lack of postal police support, protecting letter carriers, and just going out there and, and making our issue known to the public. CBS News broadcasting station picked it up nationally. That was actually quite interesting to see our voice being heard. 500 days without a contract finally being on the news. There was talks out there about other issues besides pay. If you haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. Just write letter carrier and it should be the first thing that pops up. In the midst of confusion of not knowing what's going on with our contract and the negotiation process, it seems like we got a wolf out there who's actually trying to do something. And this video is not necessarily to endorse anyone. However, I am just acknowledging and recognizing the people that are actually doing something. I definitely wanted to be a part of this weekend, especially knowing within a month I knew about October 14th being a National Day of Action. However, in one of my videos, I talk about bringing it to my branch meeting, and however, it wasn't accepted to that. My branch didn't want to get involved with the politics of national. They wanted to stay in the idea that local union problems are local union problems and let national problems be national problems. I don't agree with that. I do agree that, we are the body of the union. The officials, the officers serve at the pleasure of us, of the membership. And when the membership isn't happy, we have to do whatever we can do to voice that opinion or that discontent. I do understand that, the only way an officer can be held accountable once they are in that trusted servant status is to have articles issued against them. And so that's what this video is about. So the Article 10 charges that are being presented are being written by Brother Mike Cariff out in Illinois. He's the MBA out in that region. However, the way that is being presented is that there is a list and a form being posted on his website, and other people are posting it. I'm going to post it at the bottom of this video. And how it goes is, if you sign your name in your branch, you become a charging member of these articles against Renfro. So it's not only going to be the NBA that is a charging member, everyone else. So essentially, everybody who is afflicted or aggrieved by this delay in contract negotiations is going to be a charging member against the charges presented against Renfro. So again, the overall charge is negligence, neglect of duty, of mishandling contract negotiations. And from my understanding, in our convention in Boston, Tyler Vassar and some of those people fought real hard for open bargaining. While they didn't get 100% open bargaining, they did achieve 2 resolutions that day. And the basis of these charges are going to include those 2 resolutions. So from my understanding, when the membership or the delegates vote at the convention, whatever they vote on becomes the new law of the land. So we did win 2 open bargaining resolutions. Those resolutions are Resolution 22 and Resolution 12. So those are 2 of the charges that are being included in the negligence charges presented to Renfro. And the last charge is going to be failing to go to arbitration after the 60-day impasse. Okay, so basically what they're saying is we didn't go to arbitration when we had the leverage, everything in our backpack to use against the post office. At that time, we had UPS getting a phenomenal contract. We had inflation going rampant. We had the support of the public. We had things happening in the economy. That was 500 days ago. Today, our position has softened a bit, and that's one of the charges. We've waited 500 days, yet we still haven't received a contract, but now we lost our leverage. Whereas if we would have went to arbitration back in July of 23, we would have maybe had a better stance of winning a more favorable contract to letter carriers, i.e. we still don't know what we're fighting for. So the Articles 10 charges also calls for an independent investigator to investigate the whole situation and to see if there was anything else that Renfro failed on. One of the things is Renfro never publicly disclosed to the membership what he's fighting for. So as union pay members, we hear he's fighting for 500 days, but yet we don't know the exact things he's fighting for. So when it comes time for us to vote on these things, how do we know that he was fighting for something that we genuinely wanted? Okay, so now we're in a sticky situation where now if he does present a contract for ratification, if we choose not to ratify it, now we waited so long, does the membership just accept whatever's presented as a final offer for the post office, or do we have the patience to now wait an even longer time for us to go back to the table? And now that we know what he negotiated for, now we can see if those are the things that we wanted. Did we just want to fight for a pay increase, or do we want to fight for some things like no more forced overtime, for paid maternity leave for mothers and fathers, for the amount of time it takes to reach top step, for CCAs? What exactly were we waiting for? Are these just going to be financial things, or are there going to be some things in Articles 8 and 16 that are going to be changed? So from my understanding, the charges against Renfro will be basically he did not follow through with Resolution 22, which was agreed upon at the National Convention at Boston this year. And Resolution 22 basically says that the NALC must provide updates on contract negotiations on the first and third Friday of each month. Okay, so I'm guessing from when we were in Boston to now, it's probably 2 or 3 months that have passed, so there should have been about 6 updates that we have not received. I know on October 5th, Renfro updated briefly on the members page, but it wasn't really much of an update, just saying that they reached agreement on some of the financials and they're still trying to iron out the rest of the details. Then Resolution 12 is similar to Resolution 22, and it says that NLC must post monthly updates on the members only page. So basically the neglect of contract negotiations being charged now are going to be directly of some literature that we got approved this year at the convention. So those guys that built a fighting NALC, we want to give a big shout out to those guys, because if it wasn't for their pushing their movement, we wouldn't be able to file these charges against Renfro. And then the third one will be failing to go to arbitration in a timely manner. If you guys want to listen to a little bit more, follow Corey Walton on From A to Arbitration. For right now, that's all I have. The minute that I hear something else, I'll come back and post back to you guys. Until next time, I'll be here. You'll be there. Peace.